Hi everyone, I'm Pranoti, host of Under the Microscope. This series is brought to you by the Real Scientists Nano team. Our goal is to provide a platform where scientists can communicate their work and interact with the public. With that in mind, every week we introduce you to a scientist working in the field of materials or nanoscience who tweets from the Real Scientists Nano Twitter account, which is realsci_nano.
Hi everyone, my name is Pranati, and today we have with us Sakiru Abiodun, who is a PhD candidate at the University of South Carolina. Hi Sakiru, again, I hope I pronounce your name correctly. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Hi, Pranati. Did I pronounce your name correctly too?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
It's a difficult one, but a lot of
Oh,
Indians also can't pronounce my name properly.
oh,
So
oh, oh, yeah. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, hi, how are you?
I'm good. I want to know more about your science, more about you as a scientist. So let's get started
Uh,
with understanding your career journey so far. So you mentioned in the short podcast that you are an international PhD student. So tell us, how did you end up as a PhD student now in the US?
oh, that's a great question. So I'm from Nigeria. I had my
Mm-hmm.
bachelor's, master's in Nigeria, and I finished my master's in 2017. Then I finished my bachelor's too in 2014. Then in Nigeria, there is you do a 1 year national service. So I did that till 2015. Then I was teaching Cambridge advanced level chemistry from 2015 to 2017. And then that was also when I did my master's. Then that was from 2015 to 2018. Then I came here to the States in in 2018 to start my PhD in the field of chemistry, in organic chemistry to be precise. And then I think I just always wanted to have a PhD degree. I'm a very curious person. I'm driven by science. I love talking about science. That's what keeps me going. So yeah, so even when I was in my right from my high school, I told myself, I said the highest academic qualification, I'm gonna have it. I just want to have that. So which is why I'm doing my PhD. So yeah, I'll say curiosity, science, technology. That's what keeps me going. And I started my PhD in 2018, August 2018. So this is my fourth year.
Okay, that's amazing. Curious and driven by science. I love that. And curiosity.
Curiosity. Yeah.
I love that. So, um, your current research, the PhD work that you're doing since 2018, you already talked a bit about it in the short podcast, but where does it fall in this big picture of materials or nanoscience? Because materials and nanoscience is quite a broad field. So, what I wanted to understand is where do you fit in? Where does your work come in this big puzzle?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I'll say it's 50-50 in
Hmm.
terms of material science and nanoscience. So basically, I do a lot of synthesis, I do a lot of solution chemistry, trying to improve their stability, doing a lot of spectroscopy studies and things like that. So I would categorize that as the nanoscience part. And
Hmm.
I also try to do electronic application of this material. So basically, you think about making a thin films of this material, trying to see how they can be used in different optoelectronic, such as photodetectors or LED devices. So I would say it's 50-50. Even in my lab, Great Arts Lab here at University of South Carolina, we have two different labs. We have the solution chemistry part and we have the device and electronic part. So I think it's 50-50 on both.
Hmm. Okay, that sounds really interesting and exciting. It sounds to me that, I mean, I am really fascinated by your research. And the next question that I have for you is, if you have to pick one research project that you're most proud of, or the most fun or quirky one, doesn't have to be your whole PhD. It could also be just a Friday afternoon experiment. It could be anything. Could you please pick one and explain it to us in simple words in the section we call In Other Words?
Oh yes, that's a tough one.
I
So
know, sorry.
yeah, it's a tough one. Um, I'm currently working on something currently which is about 80 to 85% complete, and I
Mhm.
think it's a really big I think it's a really big thing for me because it took me almost 2 years to figure it out. So yeah, but I can't really say much about it presently because I don't know how to put it. But I'm really excited about it because I'm excited about writing the paper up. I've started writing it, so I'm excited about that. And also in terms of my work that I've done so far, I think one of the work I'm proud of is my paper that was published recently in Journal of Physical Chemistry last year around August, where we were looking at the impact of quaternary ammonium halide ligands on the surface chemistry, on the surface of halide perovskite quantum dots. Particularly because some people recorded that, oh, these materials help to improve the quantum yield, which we saw, while some people think that it might be detrimental to the surface of the nanomaterial. So we're able to actually look at that and resolve the different processes that occurs on the surface of these quantum dots. So I'm proud of that.
Uh-huh. Okay, that sounds really cool. And I hope we get to read that paper that you're writing at the moment.
Yeah, I'll be excited to share it. Once it's reviewed by the reviewer, we don't know what the reviewer can say.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine. I'm sure it will be fine. That sounds amazing. That's
Yeah.
great. So, what is clear to me, Sakiru, is that you love the research aspect of being a scientist. And my question to you is, what else do you like about being a scientist? Because doing research in the lab is one aspect, a
Mhm, mhm,
major aspect, but there are
mhm.
also other things that come with being a scientist. So, what else do you like?
I think what the other thing I like about being a scientist is writing. I do love writing, even if it doesn't has to be related to science. I just love writing generally. So I'm always excited when it comes to like writing, the writing part of the science. Oh, now you get to write paper. Yeah. So yeah, I love writing. I think that's the other thing I love about being a scientist.
Uh-huh. Okay, that's interesting because our first curator of 2022,
Mhm,
Chris Nicholson, he
mhm.
also shared the same thing. He loves the writing. He really enjoys it. And I remember when I was doing my PhD, writing, after I was done with it, it was like, oh yeah, that was a good idea. But the process of writing, like, oh my God, I
Good.
really needed to treat myself to put my brain through that.
Right.
I would be curious to also hear when you're tweeting, when you're taking over the account, to share your writing tips.
Mm.
I guess, but if you enjoy it, if it comes naturally to you, you don't have to treat yourself to grapes and chocolates and chips, all kinds of
Yeah,
fuels.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna tweet about some of the writing tips and things like that. Yes,
But
that would be helpful to even people who are hoping to start writing articles at some point and things like that.
exactly. Yeah. And speaking of that, if you were to go back in time and start your scientific journey today, what advice would you give yourself? Or what advice do you have for scientists who are starting out now?
Oh, okay. I think, yeah, the advice I'll give to scientists who are starting now would be one thing I'll say is just be passionate about your research.
Mhm.
Um, I think PhD journey involves a lot of ups and downs, and sometimes the science just doesn't work, and sometimes it's working in its own way, and you just can't explain what's going on. So it involves a lot of different obstacles, and I think the only thing that is going to keep you going is your passion for science, your passion for your research. So I'll say before you start your research, just first develop passion about it. And I think that's the fuel you need to keep going.
That is a very sound piece of advice. Thank you for that. I hope your research journey so far has been wonderful, and I hope it will continue to be wonderful if you do decide to stay in the research. Um, However, if you had three wishes to improve your research experience, what would you ask for? And I'm not promising anything here,
Yes, that's an interesting question. Thinking about it, I think what I would have loved, three witches I would have loved, and I think this is just personal. I think one is to be better in terms of making 3D graphics.
okay?
I'm not very good with 3D graphics. And I really, when I see people present at conferences or when I read research paper, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is really cool. And you see a lot of people, yeah, they do like cover, their research is on different cover page of the journals, and you see different graphics, they man is like, this is really, really cool. So I think if it's, so I'm trying to improve myself in that aspect. So I think that's one thing I would have wished I'm really, really better at. And then one other thing I would have also loved to do to be good at is coding languages and writing scripts in terms of Python. I mean, I do use MATLAB and I use it all the time, but I still want to be better at it because the world is going. Everything now is information, is coding languages. So I really really want to be better at that. And then I think the last thing I'll say is I wish I do more on the electronic part of the nanoscience and material science. Even though I'm doing much on it now, just like I said, my research is 50-50 of the solution chemistry and the electronic part. And it's just been kind of difficult to concentrate to focus more on one because there's a lot of things going on. So I think those are my three wishes. Be good at 3D graphics, be very good in scripts and coding languages, and I'm still gonna be good at it. I just really don't have much time presently, and then working more on the electronic applications of nanoscience because I'm really really passionate about technological advancement.
Okay, all three actually very realistic wishes, I must say. Very, very realistic wishes. And I hope you make all of them come true.
Yes. Those are my three things on my to-do list. Like, it's just that I've not really had much time during my PhD, but the moment I have any little time I have during my PhD, that's what I'm always working on. Either I'm trying to get better at making graphics, or I'm trying to improve my my knowledge with MATLAB, C++, R, Python, or trying to do something with the our laser lab, trying to do some electronic measurement. I'm like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah, that sounds really good. I hope you can share some 3D graphics. I mean, you said you're already quite good at it now when you're taking over the account.
Well, I'm not promising anything, but
okay. I tried my best. I tried.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Sakiru, it has been lovely speaking with you. But before I let you go, I have one last question for you. And I cannot record a podcast in 2022 without referring to the times that we are living in, which started in 2020. So what are your learnings from the current times? I'm not going to use the C word. I'm not going to use the P word. Current times that we are facing and since more than 2 years now. What are your learnings?
Yes, that's a very good question, and the fact that you don't want to use the P words and the He words because that's where we found ourselves.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean it's been a roller coaster, and it's been kind of a very different years than the past 2 years for everybody. And I think one thing I've learned so far is number one, that social media is a big part of everybody's life. before 2020, I'm not a big fan of social media, but after then, it seems everything now is we just can't separate social media from our daily lives. In terms of you want to see which paper have just been published. If you go to Twitter, you see people tweeting about their papers. You want to search for job opportunities, you look at LinkedIn, people share about that. You see people who, in fact, people are even influencers nowadays, and they make a lot of money. So it's just like social media has really come to stay. And again, you look at some people who are kind of feeling down or they have inferiority complex. Some of them is because they are comparing their lives with people on social media. Social media has just in the last 2 years it has really increased, and it has really come to stay. So that's something I think I've come to realize. And the second thing I've come to realize is that the impact of the last 2 years on innovations in science and technology, it has been really wonderful. You could think about, you could stay at the corner of your room and then attend a conference in another continent, and it will still be great. You could, yes, so many innovations in science that people did not even think about before now. Like when the whole thing happened, it just brought out the different ideas, and it's amazing. And people even work from home and do their job effectively. And you wouldn't even think before now, that was possible. And yeah, so I think two things I've learned is that you can't separate social media from our daily lives. It has come to stay. We just have to live with it, and we have to make use of the positive impact of the social media. And then the second thing is the innovations that the past 2 years has brought upon science and technology and communication in general is wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. These are really, really key observations that you've made. Thank you, Sakiru. It was really amazing speaking with you and learning about you and your science as well. Really, really looking forward to having you on Real Scientist Nano. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and it was nice having, thanks for inviting me, and I look forward to the week I'm going to be handling the Real Science Twitter page.
Thank you for listening. This is Pranoti, host of Under the Microscope. To know more about us, visit our website, thesciencetalk.com, and follow us on Twitter at realsci_nano.